Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the main event. You're here with me, Aaron, and Nathan is here on his Limitless. Nathan, how you feeling?
I wasn't as positive until the last 10 minutes of football.
Yeah, it was a
was
bit of a
mayhem from
close
then on.
call, wasn't it?
I know, I started on goals, and I was like, thank God for that.
I know. The what we'll do is, I guess, we'll review each of the games and then we'll review our teams. Looks like my internet's a little bit spotty, so apologies for that. But let's have a look at the different games. And Nathan, what games did you watch?
I caught the first half of the Rangers game and not much else. It was in and out, so I didn't really get much. I kept going over the City game as well, so I saw the goals in the City game.
Nice. All right, getting a few people in the comments. Hello, Callum and Lunatic. Now, make sure everyone get into the comments. Let us know you're here. Let us know you're watching. Let us know how your team did, what games you've watched. Let us know if you used a Limitless, how many points you're currently on. If you didn't use a chip, do you regret not? Let us know in the comments. Definitely, we'll have a little conversation going. So, evening, people. Good job get a little bit of interaction. Make sure to like the video as well if you're watching us on YouTube. It lets other people know that we're live. Someone else might find the podcast this way, so that would greatly help us out. But definitely get involved in the chat. Let us know how your team did. We can I can either feel your pain with you, or we can be happy for you with the amount of the green arrow that you're probably going to get. So I watched the AC Milan match
Of course.
in full, and then I ended up watching the goal show, which I guess I hadn't really seen it before, but honestly, it was I had so many other players in different matches. It was the best way to kind of keep track of everything. So
Yeah,
I
kind
quite
of saves
enjoyed
like
it as well.
swapping between
And you
each
end up
channel.
missing a goal if you just end up. Yeah, you end up. Sorry, Connor. Sorry for. It was definitely not as exciting as Matchday 1, wasn't it? Callum, Wildcard, 65 points. I wonder what the average is. I wish the app told us. But we'll kind of see. I guess we'll see one with a green arrow and go from there. So what we'll do is we'll start with the early kickoffs. We'll start with the more exciting one, of course. AC Milan winning 3-1. What did you? I guess what was your kind of thoughts on this? Did you see the goals?
I haven't seen the goals, but I think Theo Hernandez done me a favour. I think when I was looking at it, I was like, Milan shouldn't be conceding, especially not at home.
Yeah, they're a bit of a leaky team, to be honest. Lots of 5s and 6s in my Limitless, 75 points. I think that's a positive, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I think the biggest question, and as the title of the episode suggests, what was the most successful chip? Was it the Limitless or was it normal wildcard? I think the normal wildcard will pay off in Matchday 3 and 4, because people who are on Limitless, I'm guessing they're going to be using their normal wildcard next Matchday, so it's not going to be too much of a difference. But people who have used their Limitless have kind of had a free go of it in Matchday 1. Matchday 2, they had a free go without any budget, and now they get to build their team. So quite good. We've got a good score, 77 with a -4, no chip. Very, very good score. Very good score, Kieran. And you've got your chip left to use. Watched minute by minute, so all games that have some Action TV switch to that game. Last few minutes, I had my interest to Real, Napoli, PSG, because I bet on those teams with pleasant outcome. Very good. Happy you got some winnings there, mate. So with AC Milan, I guess I had Theo Hernandez. Did you have him in your team?
Yeah, I had Theo as well.
So he got an assist. It was a shame about that conceded goal. It was looking dire before that point. Liao looking absolutely incredible.
Yeah,
Um, and he won the penalty, which Giroud took, which we said on the podcast that if Giroud is on the pitch, Giroud is the penalty taker. A couple of people were a bit confused on Twitter that why isn't Theo taking the penalty? If only Giroud wasn't on the pitch, then he would have. Salamakers with a great goal as well. Liao assist, I believe. So Liao won a penalty, got an assist. So I think for those who did have him in, I think it was a pretty good good performance by him. But Benacer with the player of the match.
yeah.
So I don't know how many people actually had him in, but I think people are probably just happy with a 5-pointer from Theo. I don't know if many people had any other players.
No, I think I literally just had Theo in that game. The rest of mine were just the big hitters, obviously, was being on Limitless.
People on no chips would have had Jutla, Mario, and Royce, etc.
Yeah.
I think they would have kept them in from match day 1, but we finished with a wild card, 67 points. If you're new watching, we want you to get into the chat. Let us know how many points you got, whether you used a chip, and do you feel like it was a success? Do you regret using the chip that you used? Zielinski fail, surely off pens now. That was we'll talk about that in a little bit, but that's to the point where that's changed. Won't be on my wild card next week, I'd say. Very, very interesting. Mbappe, player of the match, surprising.
I'll take that.
So that's good for people who captained him. And come on, boys, 90 points on Limitless. Well done, mate.
Thanks.
Really, really good stuff. That'll put you in a good rank. So let's go back to the other early kickoff. Shakhtar and Celtic. I had Sved playing in this game. Unfortunately, thankfully, he did make it past the hour, but only just got the 2 points. Did you have anyone from this match?
No, didn't touch it. I think if I was on a normal, I might have went like Sved, but with us being on a Limitless, it wasn't in my plans.
Yeah, 100% margins, 100%. Wild card 58, but I don't regret using it. That's good. And it's probably hopefully you've been able to build a strong team for the back-to-back good games that a lot of these teams have. So hopefully that wild card will pay off, and you'll be able to get on a few price rises, which people on Limitless wouldn't have had. Overall, I would say it's a good point for Celtic.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think they were expecting to get anything away from home. So yeah, I think that's really, really good. I guess, to be honest, I think just with us wanting to have a chat, I think game by game analysis, especially if we haven't seen all the games, let's just review our teams. To be honest,
let's go.
So, bring up my team. So I used a wild card. So unfortunately, with the budget restrictions that a lot of people had, I chose to bring in 5 premiums. And that was to try and build a team for the rest of the group stage, but also try and limit the damage of a Limitless. So, and I can easily downgrade a few of these players for next match day. So Haaland, Mbappe, who we've heard they've got player of the match now, so he'll be on 18 points. Neymar, Kudus for 7, De Bruyne with that assist for Stones. Michael Owen will be furious that them type of assists count. Vinicius Jr. with an assist. Shved, unfortunately, with the 2 points. I did have if I didn't put Shved on, it was going to be Florentino, who only got 3 points because of a yellow card at the end. So that's all good. Gersons was 6. I ended up taking the captaincy off him to Mbappe. I did almost have a moment of madness in which I almost put the captaincy on Haaland or Neymar. All of them scored, but I would have missed out on that man of the match award, I guess.
Yeah.
Theo Hernandez with a 5. Otamendi, I think he was on 5 before, but obviously we know in this kind of hour the numbers can change.
all the time.
And Perrin, who was just there as a cheap goalkeeper, to be honest, and I knew he was playing. And my only regret really is that I wasn't able to get Cancelo in this team. Obviously, his assist for Haaland was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, this was something else that.
So, but I don't know where I would have downgraded because trying to fit in the 5 premiums. Probably Theo is the one that probably should have made way. But I support Milan. I couldn't get rid of him, you know.
Yeah.
But then even if I downgraded him, how was I then going to get that money back to Cancelo? So yeah, that's kind of what would have happened there. So currently, I think I'm on just over 60 points. So if I refresh that, let's see if that's changed a little bit.
Nothing changed on mine yet.
Because obviously in this hour, like it changes a lot. Ball recoveries can be taken away. Mbappe almost got that assist for Messi, didn't he? But it took a little deflection, so that didn't count.
Yeah, they took it off him because of the deflection.
Yeah. No, so I'm still on 60, so that'll go to 66 on a wild card. So I do not know kind of what that looks like in terms of average score and how that compares to Limitless. But overall, I am pretty happy about that. About that score. Not many blanks except for Shved and Perrin. So, oh, nice. We've got the man of the match awards coming in now. So let's bring these up. Connor letting us know that Mbappe's man of the match would take it to 64. So that is a decent score. But Kieran coming in clutch and bringing in all of these. So, De Bruyne got player of the match as well. Very good. Happy with that. So Benacer knew that one. De Bruyne, Jota, 6.5 enabler, very good. Mbappe, Neres, great goal by him. Politano, really, really good performance by him. Sterling, unfortunately, I had to get rid of him from a Matchday 1 squad, but difficult read for Chelsea. If there's any Chelsea fans in the chat, let us know what you thought about that performance. First Graham Potter match. So Valverde, I was so good I couldn't get him into my team. And Zeka. So overall, some good player of the matches. I'll leave that up there so people can have a look at that. Again, if I've seen that there's a couple of new viewers, jump in the chat. Let us know how many points you got. Leave us a like. It'll help get more viewers to the stream. Let's have a little bit of a conversation here. So Nathan,
yes,
you use the Limitless chip, and I think the biggest thing is let's look at the difference in points between our team. You had an absolutely unreal day yesterday.
Yeah.
So let's have a look at your team. So I'm just going to pull that up now. What is kind of your, I guess, what's your feelings about it first?
I mean, when I looked at half time and no one was returning, I was getting a bit worried.
I mean, you already had a great score from yesterday. So what was your score from yesterday, just to remind me?
With once I'd done my 2 subs, it went down to 46.
Right.
So it kind of evened out.
Yeah, 100%. It says my Google Chrome's not responding, so apologies if I freeze and pull a funny face. But I guess just while I'm waiting to pull this up, just go through your teammate.
So obviously with the early Hakimi news, I just decided no chance I'm putting him in. So I went with Theo, got the 5, Cancelo with the 6 with that assist, De Bruyne on 5. Obviously that'll go up with player of the match. Vinicius with the assist got a 6. Neymar, Mbappe, and Haaland all with 6, and then obviously player of the match for Mbappe on top. So it got us at 86, but 2 player of the match as well.
Nice. So it looks like I'll be on 69 points. Well, hey. What what point difference are we kind of looking at? Sorry, I've forgot your number already because all I can see is a white screen. All I can see is a white screen because Google Chrome is not responding.
I'm on 86, waiting for the 2 player of the matches to come in.
So we're looking at 15 point difference, which overall I would say that potentially is worth it. I guess it depends on how the reverse fixture go, like when you actually use your wild card and how my Limitless
Next week
pays off. Yeah, so I'm going to pull up your team now because I'm finally back. Ooh, got a few comments. So I'll end up pulling these up as well. Nice lively chat today.
I know.
So let's address some of these comments while we wait. So, surprised Chelsea played a back 4.
Maybe he's just trying out ideas. Like, he's a new manager going in. He's probably looking at his team and thinking, for the game we're playing, maybe that's what's going to work. But I wouldn't be surprised if he goes into a back 3/back 5 at some point.
Did Brighton do that very much? I don't think they did.
No.
I think the thing is, I think Chelsea, when you're used to a system for so long, that dependency on people around you, like, so Azpilicueta has probably not played in a back 2 for a long time.
Yeah, he's been in the back 3 a lot of the time.
So, like, it's just that getting used to it. I prefer Chelsea with the amount of attacking players that they have. I prefer them in a back 4.
Yeah.
But many managers have tried and many have failed. Use Limitless will get 82 points after all man of the match awards. That's an unreal score. Mind you, I say Chelsea managers have failed. I meant failed to change it to a back 4. They've not failed, like they've won trophies and stuff.
No.
So I wouldn't call their spell a failure. So got 80 on a Limitless. I guess it's good considering that it used to be able to get 109 a match day 1 by targeting only that match day. Yeah, very, very solid score. I think you'll be in a good spot once the ranks and all that update. Also, let us know if there's any players you were gutted to miss out on. Dumfries, for example, for people who used Limitless. So now that we can pull up your team, I guess I bet you're happy that you kept the captaincy on Dumfries.
Yeah, there was no chance I was changing that after used to basically talked us down from it last night.
Yeah. And I tried to share the screen again and it went back to a white screen. So no sharing the screen. We're not doing that.
It's broken.
So let's quickly go through some of these scores and some of these players that we've either got in our team or we missed out on. Yep. So I guess you said you watch. Let's talk about your boys, Rangers, first of all. Napoli, taking them to school. How do you feel after that performance?
First half was completely different. That was the thing. Like, first half, they were at it, and then just red card obviously changed the game, and then it was just like bang.
Yeah, it was a bit of a mess with the penalties, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
So someone mentioned before about Zielinski letting everyone down. The fact that he had 2 saved penalties, obviously only 1 counting. Yeah, I think that was a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, good points for the. Was it McGregor in goal?
Yeah.
Good points for him, but I doubt anyone had him.
He went and conceded for it at the same time, so it was probably like, oh well, the penalty save's kind of gone.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know why my phone is acting up. It's probably because they've just announced the new iPhone. So, certain phones break when they announce a new phone. But if I remember correctly, I'm just having to go off memory here. We had Raspadori goal scorer.
Yeah.
We had Politano, and we had Dembele, old ex-Spurs player.
And Ndombele
I think the
scored.
last goal was the worst.
Yeah.
From a Rangers point of view.
Yeah.
Lots of booing at the final whistle. Were you booing at your TV?
I didn't have it on then, to be fair.
Yeah.
I only called the first half.
Yeah.
So like first half, it seemed positive, and then it just went down.
100%. So that means Napoli are top of their group. And they have Ajax back-to-back next. So that's going to be really, really interesting from a match perspective.
Has gone completely wrong.
Yeah, Rangers don't look in a good spot. No, so now we can get on to the other groups. So let's go to AC Milan's group. So the other match was Chelsea. We talked a little bit about that. In terms of the points right now, Chelsea are bottom of the table. 1 point. Salzburg, Okafor getting his goal. Obviously, we said he was in form on the preview podcasts. I think that it is just a shame that Chelsea didn't get have a game before this. I do think they'll come good with Graham Potter. I think he is a great manager.
And people have to remember this was like his first game managing, so it's not going to be like, there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
He is a good manager. I mean, he showed up with Brighton. He worked wonders with Brighton. And I think he'll do the same with Chelsea. I think it'll just take time.
Yeah, 100%. And I think what's interesting about this group is that it's AC Milan versus Chelsea back-to-back next. So this could easily turn into Chelsea being 3 points ahead of AC Milan if Chelsea win both games. So and that would leave either team in a very sticky situation. If AC Milan get any result, they're not going to get caught by Chelsea.
Yeah.
Or it'll be very difficult to catch them. But how do you see them two games going? Chelsea, AC Milan.
Where's the first game?
Call at this moment in time, isn't it?
Is the first game Milan or is it in London?
It is in Milan. No, it's in London.
I think they could draw, but I think both teams will score there because, like you said at the start, Milan are leaky, and Chelsea are still getting organised. Maybe a couple of games under the belt, but I think a draw and I think away. I think Milan could win away.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that we get the Reece James Theo battle that I'm desperately after.
Yeah.
With the other game in this group, obviously this will be Salzburg and Dynamo Zagreb. Zagreb definitely given a good account for themselves.
Yeah, they are.
They could have scored multiple of the goals against AC Milan, to be honest. Salzburg, great point away to Chelsea. How do you see any of them teams causing a surprise, and which one will it be that potentially comes out of this group?
Salzburg. I think they could get the Europa League, maybe.
So do you still feel that Chelsea will escape?
Yeah.
Just
pop something in the chat.
Oh, Nathan's on the move. Nathan is on the move. Can we say 15 to 20 point difference between Limitless and Wildcard? It seems to be that way, especially if the people had Dumfries.
It'll go off first.
The people would have been able to get Cancelo as well, but there was quite a lot of defenders that didn't keep clean sheets. I think in terms of obviously the Paris Saint-Germain lot, or people didn't even get to play Hakimi. The Liverpool, if people actually risked having them in, I think that with some of the others as well, like there wasn't many clean sheets, so I do think that maybe that's an accurate statement. Wait for Nathan to come back. Obviously, he's removed from the connection, so we'll see when he's back. But again, if there's any new viewers, let us know how many points you got. Let us know what chip you used, and do you regret not using a certain chip? Are you happy with the chip that you used? Are you annoyed that you missed out on any players? Definitely let us know. In terms, I guess, because Nathan's not here, I don't want to just be talking at yous. What did people think of the Paris Saint-Germain match? Let us know. I'm guessing we all had an attacker from this match. Mbappe, Messi, and Neymar getting on the score sheet. How did people think the match went? Did people see Haifa scoring? I certainly didn't, but it was a great goal. Let us know in the chat, guys.
Hello.
Nathan is back.
Sorry, I had interference in the house, so it was easier to come down here.
No, it's all good. It's all good. We just started to move on to Paris Saint-Germain and Maccabi Haifa. I didn't see Maccabi Haifa scoring, but it was a great finish. Ooh, got a question. What point will I be using the Limitless? Great question. I was originally planning on Matchday 3. So these games back to back, I think, are great, and a lot of the stronger teams have home matches. So I'm able to kind of totally change my team, target Matchday 3 fixtures at home, such as Liverpool against Rangers, which Nathan is looking
you
forward
need
to.
Tavernier, Morelos, all them, because Liverpool are going to concede.
Yeah, so currently I do not have any Bayern Munich players in. Bayern Munich will be the early kickoff against is it Copenhagen? No, it's not. That's Man City have
Pilsen.
Copenhagen.
Pilsen.
Yeah, Plezenia. So I am excited to be able to target Bayern Munich players because it's the early kickoff. I can see exactly who's playing.
Yeah.
Limitless, I don't have to care about any of them. I can bring them in.
You got any ideas about what Bayern players like at the moment? If you were looking, you're thinking, I need them.
Mane.
Yeah.
Sane.
I think,
and I wish there was a third player to complete the rhyme. But probably Alphonso Davies. I don't think many people will have him. I don't think many people have him in. And potentially clean sheet. And I think I'm going to go too early to tell. It's a couple of weeks away. But I do think that Alphonso Davies might be my first day captain.
Oh.
Hopefully a clean sheet. Hopefully attack and return.
It's like
hopefully a few ball recoveries. So that'll be my punt. And then I can captain a Man City player against Copenhagen on the second day. Probably
I like
Haaland.
how you're allowed punts. Yeah, whenever I state a punt, I get told don't do it. Like this week, I asked Dan,
because yours is a
should I put
Bamiyang.
Thomas Muller in? No, it was Thomas Muller this week. It was the king.
I got 75 points. Do you think that's good? Yes, I do think that's good. That's a good score. I think the average is round about 50, 60-ish. So just from what people have been putting in the chat, I wish it told us, honestly. But Paris Saint-Germain had no control on the game in the first half. Totally agree. It almost felt like it was like, we're going to win this. They didn't have that intensity. Once they went a goal down, they seemed to get their act together. Here's another one.
Like the second half of Juve, like the Juve game that had complete control that first half.
I was about to say, don't talk to me about Juventus, but we're about to talk about Juventus. Paris Saint-Germain match was a letdown in terms of what was expected. We definitely expected higher ceilings.
I expected about 5 or 6 goals, to be fair. Not for me, just like in general.
Would you suggest using a wild card in game week 6 as a free hit if you don't need it this week, or save? I'm guessing that's till the knockouts. I wouldn't. do
if you
it
don't
in
need
game
it,
weeks.
wait until group stages, because then if you have got teams that have been knocked out, like say someone's went big on like you said Chelsea, someone like that, and they don't make it through, at least you can get rid of them.
Yeah. This will be the first season where I don't save my wild card for the knockouts.
I was gonna say you normally keep a chip to at least the knockouts at least some point.
But there was once the first season I played this,
Mhm.
I used my Limitless in the knockouts.
Yeah,
And I ended up, when everyone else was averaging about 50, 60, I got over 100 points because I was able to punt on Marquinhos and stuff like that.
nice.
Um, so although I'm still planning on probably using it in the group stage, I think what I do a lot is overthink. And
You
with
like
all this
Pep you
data,
like Pep in a final?
100%, I wish I was like Pep. I would say,
Not in a final.
is there not another less good manager that overthinks everything?
Steve Bruce.
I don't think Steve Bruce thinks. Um,
Leave him alone. He's got a
but
family, you know.
yeah, I'm definitely not Pep, but I am a manager that Allegri. There we go. I am Allegri.
Oh, right. Actually, if we're gonna bring up Allegri now, okay? Could you see Allegri out to Tuchel in?
That would be a very, very, very good move from
Very
Juventus.
bold move from Juve because he's struggling, isn't he?
Yes, there was loads of empty seats in Juventus today.
Wow.
People not excited to watch Juventus. There was loads of empty seats on Sunday. Obviously, they were robbed from that game, but I do
Yeah, I
think
saw the offside in that game. That was
that this,
criminal.
as this comment says, it will be a battle for the Europa League spots,
Yeah.
which I really hope Haifa win.
I was going to say, could you see Haifa actually doing it?
So that's the thing as well. Like going back to an earlier comment by
Where
Connor,
PSG had no control on the PSG had no
so
control on the half. Haifa obviously had control then, so could they do that against Juve?
yeah, exactly. I won't be able to pull it up,
Mm-hmm.
but this is currently. Hopefully, it comes through all right. Yeah, not really.
Who's got? Wait, I
I
can
will
say
read
it. I
out.
can read it out.
I will read out my draft from my Limitless so far. So I've got 2 Juventus players in it, which is Szczesny and Kostic, which a Limitless would help me to do. My other
Kostic could be a
defenders,
shout, like.
Van Dijk, who had I think it was 8 ball recoveries. I keep saying points at the end. 8 ball recoveries.
Yeah. Is he going to
Absolutely
get that many
unreal.
ball recoveries against Rangers, or when Liverpool are going to be expected to have the ball a lot?
Yeah, I just think that Van Dijk, when Thiago's playing, is a lot better.
Okay.
I just think Liverpool actually in general, when Thiago's playing, is a lot better.
I just think looking at the way Salah, definitely, because the way Rangers are playing at the moment, like Liverpool are going to control that game no matter what. And I think like you're doing there, target them Liverpool assets, because I think this could be the game where Liverpool players actually return.
Yeah. So I've got Alphonso Davies, Kostic, Alexander-Arnold, Cancelo, and Van Dijk as my defenders. For midfielders, De Bruyne, Vinicius, Mane, Salah, and Sane. And then, oh man, I could have. There's the little thing, isn't it? That rhyme, Vinny, Mane, and Mo.
It's not as good as Beanie Mane Mo.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Minamino, come back.
Please.
And then Haaland, I've got Benzema in currently because I think he'll be fit by then. And Lewandowski in currently as well.
I think Haaland and Lewandowski will be in mine. Because I'll just take out Aubameyang. I mean,
yeah. So that will be my Limitless so far, which budget wise, is 123 million worth of a team.
Nice.
So that's great.
I think mine could have been about the same actually, because when I looked, it said when I made it, I had a look and I had like minus 22 million. So I was thinking, oh, okay.
Yeah. So how's Dan? Dan's doing all right. Is just
Yep.
his hearing aid broke, so he wouldn't have been able to hear us, which is probably
So
a blessing,
instead,
to be honest.
you got the dynamic duo of me and Aaron.
Dynamic is probably not the word.
Trying to liven it
up. That's why we're wanting people to get involved in the chat.
Please.
So underwhelming scoreline was expecting Paris Saint-Germain to score at least 5.
I said that.
Agreed.
I said that at least 5 or 6. I was expecting, especially after the Juventus game where they literally taught Juventus in the first half.
How many points did Nuno Mendes get? Does anyone know? Does anyone have him in the team?
I didn't have him in, but I can have a look at Dan's team because
if anyone has Nuno Mendes in, let me know how many points he got in the comments, please.
Dan had him, so I'll just find Dan's team.
Because I was choosing between Gersons or Mendes, and I choose Gersons because he played on the first day.
3. You got 3 points.
Get in. I wonder if Juventus will change managers in the international break with Tuchel available.
I said this.
Honestly, that would be unreal. But also, Poch is available.
Ooh.
I think that's a debate.
Do you reckon Poch is waiting for a La Liga job, though?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
I mean, there's none available.
But just a quick thing in the chat. Just honestly, just one word. Everyone in the chat. Who would you rather have as a manager, Poch or Tuchel? Just put it in the chat. Honestly, I'm just curious.
I think for me, I'd rather Tuchel.
Would you?
Yeah, I don't know, with Poch, I mean, you've seen him, like, with a team that's got egos, and yes, he done well at Spurs, but look at the season he got sacked from Spurs. Yes, and I get it kind of dwindled out, but he didn't do anything with PSG. I mean, he didn't win the league, did he? No,
that's true. Both of them have managed PSG, but Poch did win the league at PSG.
Cool. Tuchel won the league, but Tuchel got them to a Champions League final as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
So you look at that, and then he's went on to Chelsea, and he's won the Champions League. So I think, if anything, I'd be looking at maybe him.
Oh, nice! I didn't realize we've got another fellow UCL podcast here. Welcome.
Oh, hello.
It's nice to see that we're not the only one. Honestly, more the better. I'm actually we need more people talking about fantasy UCL. It's the best competition in the world.
Ooh.
Really like that.
Go back to Dortmund.
That would be good, wouldn't it?
That would be good, but because Dortmund, I don't think that form's been that good lately. So I just don't think it's working.
With this,
see, I thought that.
But didn't Tuchel manage the first half of the season when they didn't win it? Didn't Tuchel get sacked?
No, I don't think so. I think Tuchel was already out, and then he went because I think I actually might have. But even if it was half a season, I'm sure Tuchel went in as in December. So Poch had from December onwards. So realistically, he had more of the season. So realistically, if you're thinking of it, he lost the league. Not. And I don't think it was.
No,
the Champions League performances as well. You got to look at the Champions League performances. PSG under Poch weren't that dangerous.
No, but we also need to look at times when, for example, when Chelsea changed manager throughout the middle of the season, like that season when they finished 11th.
Mourinho second season.
Yeah, was it Mourinho's fault that they didn't finish in the top 4, or was it Hiddink who took over from that point? It has to come down to the start.
Yeah, I still think Tuchel's the better manager. I agree with what David's Football and Talk and Games said. I think Poch is a bit overrated. He's had 1.5 good season, maybe 2 good seasons out of everything. He got to a Champions League final, and he had Tottenham's best chance to win the league and lost it. That's all
So
he's
here's
done. He won a French Cup.
so here's my last one in terms of Juventus, and then we can move on.
Yep.
If I was to change manager, Tuchel would definitely be my number one choice. But number two would actually be Zidane if I could get him. Uh,
Ooh,
he's
managing another former club.
because that's what he's been linked with that job so many times. And
Mm-hmm.
I think he's just waiting for the right time. Um,
They were a point behind
so
Lyon when Tuchel was sacked. So they weren't that far behind.
yeah. Just got a comment there if people haven't seen it. They were a point
Yeah.
behind Leon when Tuchel was sacked. Very good. Good memory. Good searching that up, to be honest. With Messi, Mbappe, and Neymar not tracking back, there's a no-brainer why PSG don't do well against quality
Yeah.
sides.
Yeah,
Yes,
definitely.
agreed. So with them, obviously Benfica winning the other match, great. Benfica looks solid, and we've been saying this for all season on this podcast. The Portuguese sides, you don't obviously other than Porto who let us down, but Sporting beating Tottenham 2-0 yesterday, and Benfica beating Juventus 2 seasons ago. You probably would have laughed if these scores had
Yeah.
happened. But the Portuguese league is such a strong league now. And so it's good to see that the quality and the investment is getting used really well in Portuguese
You're
league.
seeing it though, like when the players from the Portuguese league join these big clubs, like a lot of them are performing. I mean, Darwin Núñez, maybe jury's still out, but a lot of the players are coming in and they are performing straight away and are looking good from that league.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at half the Wolves players; they look like they perform in half of them Portuguese league. So it shows these Portuguese teams aren't to be just there to roll over. Really, like they are putting the challenges in.
Yeah, they were like that because it wasn't long ago where Porto were losing 5-0 to Liverpool every game,
Yeah,
every time they faced each other.
basically every season.
Yeah, so moving on from this group, I get obviously Paris Saint-Germain are top.
Yep.
Benfica second. They face each other back to back now. So
Ooh.
it's almost the battle for top spot. If Paris Saint-Germain win both of them, they will have qualified, which means that they are rotation risks for match day 5 and 6. So that's dangerous.
That's when you're looking at like Mbappe probably being dropped, maybe Neymar, and you're looking at like maybe you can make a punt and go for like a Hugo
We say
Ekitike.
that,
Yeah,
but I don't think the egos will be like who would.
no.
I think they'll just be subbed early. I don't think they'll be rested.
I think Galtier will sit there and go, "Can I drop you?" No, okay, you just start. I'll sub you on about 55.
Yeah, exactly. We'll go to Group G next. We'll talk
Yep.
about the most boring match of them all: Copenhagen, Sevilla, 0-0 draw. Did you have anyone from this game?
Nah, I mean Sevilla, them kind of games. It's written that they're gonna draw.
To
Like
be
I think
honest,
they're just
with
hoping to
Sevilla
get just
lately, it's written that they were going to lose, so it's probably a positive that they drew. To be honest,
they'll be
um,
celebrating and spending the night. Then.
yeah. Whenever Sevilla are banked for a clean sheet, they concede,
Yeah,
and yeah, they're just one of them teams. Um, really, really frustrating from a fantasy perspective. Really, really good team and like actual good team. Hate to
yeah.
face them.
They've
But
got some good players as well. Like normally, like obviously, I think was it last season we pointing out El Naziri and that.
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah,
We'll go on to the more exciting match, Man City against Dortmund. What do you think about this match? Because you had
I
De
think
Bruyne, Haaland, and Cancelo.
and Cancelo. Yeah, I think
So
this is where the Limitless paid off for me because originally I had obviously in the original team I had Guerrero and Royce. Now I
mhm.
know I would have got an assist off Royce or a goal. Can't remember what one it was. I think it was a goal, but I took them. Obviously, I took them players out and brought in the Man City like big boys, if you want to call it that, and it paid off. This is where I got my points. I think, like obviously, this is where I banked City will dominate. I mean, I wouldn't say they dominated because Dortmund gave as good as they got, but I think it just wore out in the end.
Mm-hmm.
And that goal, Haaland's goal, the cross is absolutely filthy, and even Haaland's finish, like the man can do anything. It's like I seen someone post on Twitter, Haaland will have as many goals as Pele without the lies.
That's if he stays fit. It's if he stays fit.
True.
So my biggest thing about, because I've been meaning to say this for a bit, people are worried about Haaland's rotation. The thing is, he doesn't actually get that many touches of the ball.
No, he's
Like,
not
he's
active
not
at all.
used. For the majority of the match, when Man City are just passing it back and forth, side to side, he's just chilling up front.
Yeah.
Like, he just has to. He's jogging from side to side, and he only has like he's only had before this game. He had 109 touches all season.
Some games he's getting about 10 touches a game, and he's still scoring.
That means he's not at risk of getting injured on ball contact. It's going to be an off the ball incident if he does get injured. That is the best way of preserving Haaland's health, is not making him have to do everything. And that's why I think I know, and that's why I think Ronaldo would have been great if he had went there last year.
It would have been the same kind of thing, wouldn't it?
While Harry Kane would have gotten involved in the attack, he would have been more of a false nine. So
he would have been a centre midfielder like he is half the time for England, and that he just sits in centre midfield.
Yeah, but Haaland honestly is unbelievable. But I do think because of how little he actually has to be on the ball to be effective, I don't think that he's as much of a rotation risk as we think, especially with 5 subs in the league and the Champions League. I think he's just going to get subbed.
I think we're all thinking, like, obviously his injury record, everyone thinks, right, he's going to get injured. But if, like you said there, if you look at the way Pep's managing it, then Haaland might. But I've just seen a comment there from Connor. We might see rotation against Copenhagen. I think we will in the second Copenhagen game.
And the good thing about that is the early kickoff. So we will be well prepared.
You can look at like players. That will be the game you look at like players like Alvarez, maybe. And the players that haven't really played. I mean, one player I think I am a bit surprised at is Grealish again. He was ineffective in that game. Yeah, definitely. Definitely, because I think if they got Kane, the Haaland transfer wouldn't have happened, and you would have seen Haaland at like possibly Real or something now.
So in terms of Man City assets, Haaland, De Bruyne, and Cancelo, is there anyone else we should actually be considering? Because they're such a good team.
It's that whole thing of Pep roulette, isn't it? Like,
that's the thing, because they play on the second day again.
Exactly.
So
you kind of just having to chance it, really. Like, is he gonna go full strength in the first Copenhagen game, and then, like you said, when we've got the early kickoff to look at, that'll be his rotation game.
Yeah. I think Man City will try and make sure that the group is tied up ASAP. So I do think they'll go full strength in the first one.
Strength in that second game. You can look at the players, like if you're going to look at the second game, you're looking at like Mahrez and that. But the first game, I think you're looking at their main players, their main three of KDB, Cancelo, and Haaland. And I think for the next game week in my wildcard, I'll be doing anything I can to get them in, even if it means having a 4-0 keeper on the bench and like a couple of cheap defenders.
No, 100%. Let's talk about Dortmund. Bellingham is just unreal, isn't he?
Yeah. I think he won't be at Dortmund next year because I think he's now getting to that point where he's hitting his ceiling with Dortmund and needs to go to that next team to progress on.
What team do you think he needs to go to?
I don't want to say him at Liverpool.
A lot of reports obviously linking him to Liverpool.
I think City. I think City will come sniffing.
I think what Man City do quite well.
Gundogan's aging, isn't he?
It sounds like you said Asian there.
No, aging.
Yeah.
So could he not be Gundo's replacement in there?
To be honest, Bellingham could be I'm
Anyone's
trying to go
replacement.
through every team in the world in my head real quick, and I think Bellingham could be in the starting 11 of every team.
We're the
I
richest
can't
club in the
think
world. We'll buy them. We'll buy them.
of. If anyone disagrees with that, obviously that's just off the top of my head. Is there a team that Jude Bellingham does not start in?
I think Man U scream out for him. I really do. I think Man U scream out for a Bellingham. But because Ericsson's old, and obviously you don't want to put too much pressure on him. Bruno Fernandes, not good enough. So if anything, to me it looks like Man U would be the perfect team for him.
Yeah,
Liverpool, I don't know.
100%. So Dortmund are currently second in the table. They face Sevilla twice.
I can see
Man
them
City have
drawing both there.
Copenhagen. That's going to be tough. I think a draw is in the offing. And then I don't think I've missed any. Yeah, that's it in terms of matches. So I guess we'll answer the question.
Yep.
Limitless. Obviously, you probably ended up with more points, increasing that average a little bit. But in terms of 15 points, 15 to 20, I do think that people on a wild card or people who played no chip got away with it. And I do not think it's that big of a victory for Limitless. Because later in the season, I think it's going to be easier for people with a Limitless to make up them 15 points.
Yeah.
I do think it was a victory. I do think it was a victory. I think it's going to do great things for your rank.
Definitely.
But it's at this moment in time, I do think that there is just enough skin in the game for people who didn't use Limitless. But the problem is that we don't know how the wild card is going to pay off yet, because over the course of the group stage, the people who have set their teams properly with the wild card, they might go on and have better group stages. But I do think that people who still have Limitlesses left could make back them points. Especially if there's another match day like Matchday 1.
Yeah.
I think this is a very low scoring match day. And I think that people will find it harder to get all the players from them teams back.
Well, I looked at my
opinion.
Matchday 1 to this week, and at the moment, I think with the two man the matches, I'm probably about 4 points difference. So
I do think that
badly for me.
Yeah, I do think that the difference this match day, people who had Salah, people who had Cancelo, and people who had Dumfries.
And people who captained Dumfries, definitely.
Yeah. People who followed Let's Talk FPL and also FPL Reactions, advice on that. Great shouts by them. It is quite good having like a big FPL player starting to
take the UCL on as well.
Not a big FPL player. Literally, the UCL chat is full of big FPL players.
It is.
But having someone with that many views, potentially bringing new people to the game, I think is great. Because this game is just getting bigger and bigger. Hence, before we had more UCL podcasts coming out. And so, yeah, I think overall the game is in a very, very good place. Just the app needs to get quicker at updating things. Everyone.
I'm still waiting on it updating. I'm like refreshing like mad. I just want my points.
I mean, FPL is a lot quicker, but I think FPL has like quadruple the budget of the UCL app. But I did have a green arrow yesterday.
So did I.
My rank was horrible after the first match day. It was 720,000.
Oh, well, I was higher than you then. I was like 380,000. So I was like, yes.
Yeah. And just from yesterday's points, 24, I've risen to 192,000.
I've risen to 9,285.
So that's just match day 1. Like this is just the Tuesday games. I don't know what my rank is currently. So it's going to be interesting to see how big of a drop down from 192,000 I get, because I know people with Limitless loaded their teams with second day players. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
like
it's going to be very
today,
interesting.
I've shot up to 9,285 overall, 305 in England, and I'm 21st in the Rangers League.
Get in. Well done,
So I'll
mate.
take that.
Um, how many members are in the Rangers League?
1,000 plus.
I'm in the AC Milan one, and it's 6,000 plus.
Yeah, well, it's Rangers' first season back in the Champions League in a lot of years, so you know.
But no, I think that's everything. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and thank you for joining in the chat. It made it more bearable because when Dan is here, he can go on long explanations.
Yeah.
So it's quite good that he can fill in the time. Um, hopefully his hearing aid is still broken, so he didn't hear me say that. But no, honestly, thank you for joining in the chat. It made it a lot more engaging, and I'm hoping that we can get these a lot more engaging. Follow us. You can see our Twitter handles in the green box on the videos. Give us a follow if you haven't already, and also stay tuned. We've not done an update on the kind of content creators Champions League yet. So we'll give you an update on the first 2 match days. In terms of that, some very, very good scores, especially from match day 1. I just couldn't get the video out in time for match day 1, so we're going to combine them for match day 2. But the good thing about that is that it'll give you literally all the people who do UCL content. You can give them all a follow from that video, and that's going to overall help your game. And then there'll be I guess there's a break from Champions League next week, but in 2 weeks' time, Champions League is back. So we'll have a preview podcast out for that. But for this weekend, there will be kind of a weekly update, kind of like what I did before on the channel. So stay tuned for Monday morning for that coming out. And I'll give you an update on all of the Champions League teams and how they fared over the weekend games. But thanks, Nathan, for joining me.
No bother.
And thank you, everyone in the chat. Really, really do appreciate it. I hope you have a good night. And hopefully, when we all wake up in the morning and the game finally updates, we'll all see green arrows. But until next time, see you later.